If you want to get smarter, you've clicked on the right video. This whole channel is going to make you smarter. Make sure you hit subscribe, hit the bell icon. And the last section of the podcast is all about a subject that I've been reading a lot about recently, which is modern day witchcraft. Do you have any kind of knowledge about this?
Yeah, again, in the Western world, we call them witches. In the East, we call them goddesses. Okay. So everybody has within them a certain aspect or ability that you can do. I don't believe that there is such a thing as putting a spell on somebody. The Kama Sutra does have a whole section on putting spells on people. And if you read it, you'll be laughing for 1 week. Okay, because it's just so much nonsense. So I personally, even in Tantra, they say, you can put a spell on somebody. You can't. In Tantra, the idea is that you actually develop your own awareness to the point that you know how to handle something or you know how to deal with somebody. Because when you become that clued up, you know exactly how the other person thinks. From their character, you can tell how they're thinking. So you can't put a spell on them, but you can definitely talk to them in the right way so that you can twist their actions. Like I said earlier, an effective leader always knows how to use a story properly. No, there's been no effective leader without a proper story. You have to be a storyteller. Okay?
You need to be able to manipulate just a little bit.
Always. Always. Whether it's for the good or for the bad, always. You have to be able to lead the people a certain way. It's that simple. So I think that every person inside them has the ability, male or female, has the ability to be a witch, if you want to call it a witch, or to be a goddess, if that's what you want to call it. We all have our energies and strengths inside us. I just find that the moment we give it a title like that, we start thinking of it in a negative way. Like whenever I talk about Tantra, people automatically say, oh, but there's this negative aspect to it. And I'm like, no, there is no such, learn to listen. There's a negative aspect to anything. So no, I think that having said that, I truly believe that I must have been a witch in some life. I'm a bit witch in this life. Sorry, forget that. Forget in some life. And in Cornwall, in one part of England, there is actually a museum to witchcraft. Okay, which is a fabulous place. But if you go there, you'll find that they have the most exciting things, because in pagan times there were different things that they would say were a witch's tools. So one of the things that they have over there, they have these little round glass balls, almost like a Christmas tree bauble. That's where actually it comes from, okay? So these Christmas tree baubles or glass balls were supposed to be a witch's tools because you would be reflected in it, okay? And you could see your reflection, and it was like, okay, I can see your reflection now. I'm going to capture this reflection, blah, blah. So similarly, in ancient times, the mirror was supposed to be a tool of witchcraft. So if you wanted your lover to come to you, so let's say there's a woman who wants this man to come to her, and she wants that he will not be able to think of anybody else. What is the spell she would really put on him? She would surround her room with mirrors, so that each place that he looked, he only got to see her. Everywhere he looked, he only got to see her, and he couldn't think of anything else. That was all he would be thinking about. So, there's a different way of dealing with witchcraft. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, we call them goddesses. We don't call them witches.
So I'm going to give you an account of what happened in my life recently. I was on a date. Someone had met over one of those apps. And on our second date, actually, she mentioned that she's a practicing witch, like that she practices some kind of witchcraft. So I asked her what that meant, and she said that she has learned to do spells from her family, like her grandmom was a practicing witch. And I did feel this eerie sense of her trying to do something on me as well. I don't know, it was just like a gut feeling. Honestly, I feel that so I meditate a lot. I meditate almost 2 hours daily, and it kind of makes you very aware of your surroundings, of the people you speak to, of their energy. And I just didn't feel the correct kind of energy. And that's what made me exit that date and kind of read up a lot more about witchcraft. And what I found is exactly what you're saying, which is that, yes, there may be a world of spells, but the world of knowledge that you gain from ancient texts, your practices of yoga, your practices of meditation, they're able to give you your own internal spells through which you can lead people well, through which you can, as we said, manipulate people well. Um, and you can kind of work these so-called superpowers through your books. So maybe that also answers that previous question about what does this world teach you.